But we have a special guest on the show, DJ,
Yes,
who
sir.
covers
Shout
the
out
New York
DJ.
Jets or used to cover the New York Jets on New York Daily News. We appreciate you for coming on the show, man.
100%, man. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, man. We supposed to, have this happen earlier in the week, but things happen. But I'm a man of my word, so here we are.
Real.
Yes, sir. And we were
Appreciate
going
you.
to talk about the Jets, and had Kevin Durant not requested a trade, that would have
Miami?
happened. That
Stop
was
it,
one of the
man.
top destinations. You're right.
I don't want to hate Miami. We don't need that. We don't need that at all.
But Kevin Durant requested a trade. Now let's brainstorm, where he can possibly go. I know his preferred destinations are the Suns and the Heat, but just give me your quick thoughts on what did you think about him requesting a trade and where he can go. DJ, I'll start with you because you are really on this KD to Miami bandwagon. But what are your thoughts on him requesting a trade? All in all,
I think it's just more that shows that the Nets organization is I won't use the word laughing stock, but there's a lot of toxicity and dysfunction within it, that make KD want to just get away from it. And I think it stems not even, a lot of it starts with Kyrie, but just how the Nets kind of handled that entire situation too, right? Where you have a firm, all right, you can't be a part-time player, either you get the shot or not, and then they change your mind. That kind of once that happened, you saw how that kind of threw a lot of things out of the loop, you know what I'm saying? Then obviously the James Harden trade, yada, yada, yada. So KD wants to get out of there and go to a place where he can win. The best place for that is obviously the Miami Heat. So I'm just hoping that happens. You know what I'm saying? If he goes to the Heat, I'm gonna be unbearable on Twitter.
What's that
Unbearable.
package looking
That's
like?
a fact. That's what I'm curious about too, because it's either you lose Bam or you lose Jimmy. I'm sure you
don't want to lose either.
That's not a thing you want.
Right. So I think they can give up Bam, but they have to take back Simmons because just some contract stuff or whatever.
Okay.
I feel Bobby Marks from ESPN talked about it, but if that's what it takes to get KD, I'm good with that.
Yeah, it's Kevin Durant. It's Kevin Durant. It's Kevin Durant.
I mean, to be honest, the Heat, I don't know who can beat the package surrounding Bam and Hero and then some draft picks. I don't know who can beat that package. I'm just honest. Maybe
Unless the Celtics offer Jaylen Brown. That's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, right. But they're not going to do that.
You're doing that?
I think you have to add on to this core we have.
I agree.
I don't think you split it up and trade JB.
If you
Plus,
get
you can
KD,
give
do
up
it,
picks
though.
too.
If
It's
you get
not, but the
KD.
thing is, if
If
they're willing to give up JB, it's gonna be more than just JB. It's gonna be JB
sure.
and picks
Yeah,
and
yeah.
some role players.
Keep
it's not
that
just
core
him.
together. Keep that core
I
together.
agree.
Yes.
We were just
Keep that
2
core
games
together.
away from winning the finals. I think you add on to the Celtics core. You don't break it up, even if you can get Kevin Durant, because we've seen multiple times KD will leave out of the blue, out of nowhere, when you're expecting him to stay, expecting him to be an integral part of your organization. When Tatum and JB have shown we want to be here, we want to ride for Boston.
The only package I feel like that rivals Miami would be the Phoenix Suns. You have DeAndre Ayton, Mikal Bridges, maybe Cam Johnson.
Right.
I'm not too sure if that's
Right.
what you want to add in. Multiple first-round picks. That's the only one
Yeah.
that really rivals Miami's as of right now. But to speak to a little bit of what you were saying about the Nets and them not, you didn't want to go as far to say that they were sorry. It's looking pretty bad for them. Now, let's go look at the picks that they have to give, that they did give up to acquire James Harden.
They're gonna be a hell.
2023 first-round pick swap, 2024 first-round pick, 2025 first-round pick swap, 2026 first-round pick, 2027 first-round pick swap. Every single one of these are unprotected. The Nets are going to be in hell for years to come.
I tweeted this. They made the Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce trade twice.
They're the
same
only
thing.
franchise
They
that
did
can
the same
do something
thing
like
twice.
this. And you look at it from this perspective. Yes, 100% I'm with you. If Miami gets them, they're scary. If Phoenix gets them, it's scary. I'm not trying to think of situations right now where KD would go and he'd automatically make them better. I'm trying to not think about that. Where I want Kevin Durant to go is Portland. You add Kevin Durant to this Portland squad that's clearly been trying to do everything they can to benefit Damian Lillard. All their offseason moves have been singly done to benefit Damian. And by bringing Kevin Durant to Portland, there's ways that they can make this happen. They could trade, their draft picks that they just acquired this year. They can trade future assets that they acquired. My point being is Damian Lillard has been so loyal to the city of Portland. He deserves this. And you pair Kevin Durant with Damian Lillard, that's an intriguing duo. Becomes immediately one of the best duos in the league. He goes to Phoenix. If I'm going to be honest, I'm not in love with it just for the fact that you're losing McHale, you're losing Ayton. Yes, you'd have a great. Is Booker going to be in that deal too? Like, there's conversations with that.
They
Like,
just gave Booker $200 million.
The whole point would be to have Booker, KD, and yes, Chris Paul is getting older, but regardless of that fact, he's shown a great amount of longevity. That three would be great, but I do worry about the defensive side of the ball, especially when you're giving him McHale.
Ultimately, I'm annoyed that he requested a trade.
I don't disagree at all.
Because he just signed a 4-year max contract, and then without even playing a year of his contract, he's requesting a trade already. I thought when Kyrie opted into his deal, he was going to stay in Brooklyn. They were going to try to run it back one more year.
For sure.
And the reason why I don't like it is because I feel like every decision Kevin Durant makes, at least in terms of where he's going to play basketball, outside of Golden State, has been a terrible decision. Because you go to Brooklyn to team up with Kyrie Irving, it doesn't work out in the way that you want it to work out in. And now you're requesting a trade, and your top two destinations are the Phoenix Suns and the Miami Heat. This current Brooklyn Nets roster is better than what the Suns would look like if they trade for KD and lose DeAndre Ayton, Cam Johnson, and Mikal Bridges.
I don't hate that take.
What is going on?
I don't hate that take.
100% a fact.
I don't hate that
Would
take.
you rather have Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Ben Simmons, Joe Harris, a good like Bruce Brown, good role players,
Steph Curry for
Steph
sure.
Curry, or would you rather go to Phoenix and it's just KD, Booker, Chris Paul, who last time in the playoffs we saw him, he was sorry
He looked his
for
age.
4 to 5 games.
For the first time in a while, he looked his age.
And then you don't have any center. Who is it? Bismack Biyombo? JaVale, he's a free agent currently.
Facts.
You have no
He's probably
wing
not coming
depth.
back either.
Like, your starting lineup is Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, Jay Crowder. I don't know who starts at the 5. And the depth is just completely shot. You're relying on Landry Shamet and Cam Payne. That's why, to me, I think he has a better shot to win with the Nets, with this roster, than with the Suns. And on top of that, if Kevin Durant goes to the Suns, I don't put them over the Clippers with Kawhi and PG. Kawhi and PG is a better duo than KD and Devin Booker. And they have more depth than the Suns. And then you look at the Warriors.
I don't know about that.
The Warriors are not going anywhere. And don't sleep on Dallas to get Kyrie Irving either.
I thought you were just going to say Christian Wood, just him and Luka.
No, don't sleep on Dallas to get Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, I did see that with Brunson leaving.
But do you feel the same way about? I feel like if he went to Miami, regardless of what they'd give up, they are super deep.
They would get Ben Simmons back though. And honestly, I trust Miami because Miami has shown that every year they manage to get role players out of guys who come out of nowhere.
One of the best organizations.
Gabe Vincent, Max Strus,
and they just re-signed Victor Oladipo.
Yeah, that's a very good move. I think that's a very good move. That's why for me it just makes no sense from a basketball standpoint to leave Brooklyn. I don't know what happened. I don't know why he requested a trade. But it just feels like everything's going downhill for the Nets. I'm pretty happy about that as a Knicks fan. But also, I feel like it all starts with making Steve Nash the head coach. I feel like if Ty Lue was their current head coach, this does not happen.
Well, the Nets said they don't need to be coached. Kyrie and KD said we don't need a coach. We could figure it out by ourselves.
Was KD a part of that?
It was Kyrie, but KD was on the call. I guess he was kind of like saying you're bugging, but
and
he
my
didn't
guy,
say no.
And my guy right now, James Harden, looks like a genius for getting out of that situation early. He knew it was coming. He goes to Philly. He's finally going to have an off season to really get into his workout regimen.
MVP Harden's back.
He's going to be an all-NBA performer next year. They just added DeAnthony Melton, the one of the best 3-and-D players in the league, in PJ Tucker. I mean, come on. Philly's going to win a championship next year. That's what I'm going with right now.
So let's say the KD gets traded to the Heat. What's that starting 5 look like? And if it is that starting 5, are they the favorites in the East?
Well, Kyle Lowry,
Jimmy
Jimmy Butler,
KD.
Max Strus, KD, and maybe like Yurtseven at the 5.
They're 5. What do you think, DJ?
Or Bam. I mean, not Bam or Simmons. I mean, like.
Yeah, if
Or
they get
if you
Simmons,
get
yeah.
Simmons.
Getting Simmons would be insane.
Does that put you feel confident? I mean, you just took the Celtics to 7, but you
Confident.
got a healthy Bucks
Yeah,
team.
I tell you what,
like,
you get KD.
That team win the championship in like 5 games.
If Miami gets KD, they're the favorites to come out of the East.
Yeah.
No. They're the favorites to win the championship.
The West is strong. Golden State's still Golden State. The Clippers are a team to look out for.
Listen, the Heat. With
Lakers
KD,
get Kyrie. You're going to hear me chat.
The Heat with KD Like that's like
The Heat with KD.
Nah, he with KD is amazing because he's surrounded by a bunch of really good defenders. Losing PJ definitely hurts more than Heat fans will allow them to believe. And you're losing Bam also, who is one of the most versatile defenders in the NBA.
But Simmons is arguably one of the best.
Fair?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Simmons can
Like,
fill
he
the
was one of
Bam.
the
That's
best
role.
something
player
that
of
I just don't think about. Simmons is
Yeah.
going to be a part of that trade, which is crazy.
But the Nets probably want to keep Simmons. It sounds like so.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
What would your team be
He's
at that
the
point?
one person that they like want to keep. So
which is wild to me.
Very on brand for the Nets. However, I
Sucks.
support it as I'm
You're
a Ben Simmons
truther.
supporter.
But
Was
Drew,
that
you
the-
hit it right on the money. If I was picking where KD goes, I would say Portland. I think Portland. I love it. I don't know if they win a championship.
I agree.
But I definitely like that brand of basketball more. These are KD trades that I have. So I only have 3 teams. We're not going to go over a lot. So first one is the Suns. It's Mikal Bridges, DeAndre Ayton, Cam Johnson, and multiple picks. Kevin Durant goes to Phoenix. They now have a big 3 of Chris Paul, KD, and Booker. And now the Brooklyn Nets have a starting lineup of Ben Simmons, Mikal Bridges, DeAndre Ayton, Joe Harris, Cam Johnson if he starts to come off the bench. Seth Curry could start. That lineup doesn't sound too bad, and I think the Nets can work with that. The next team is the Heat. Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, I think might be involved in that deal, and some picks. And then the Blazers, Anthony Simons, Shaedon Sharpe, and picks for KD. You know, the Nets get 2 young players, Shaedon Sharpe, who has arguably the highest upside in his class, and then multiple picks on that. Those are 3 deals that I think are realistic and that could possibly happen, but I don't know where KD goes, quite frankly.
And
like, this is shocking to me.
It's different from a lot of other superstars because we saw the 4-year contract, doesn't have a no trade clause. So 15 plus teams, Woj said, already reached out to the Nets.
Yeah.
It's not like KD
Kevin
could
Durant.
say, I prefer to go to the Nets or the Suns or the Heat. But at the end of the day, the Nets could take whatever the best package is and send them off.
That's honestly weird that KD didn't have a no trade clause in his contract.
Very weird.
Yeah, usually star players have that, so they can pick where they want to go. That is very.
KD. This is a really good day for me. Really good day for me because I've just been on the side of understanding how little you can trust Kevin Durant and his decision making. Now I do feel bad for Nets fans. Shout out to my guys, Max, Kevin, Sean. Unfortunate, JC, of course. Unfortunate for you guys today. This is not news that you wanted to hear. But I've been trying to tell you guys and warn you guys, you cannot trust Kevin Durant. I mean, it's all he's shown since his time leaving OKC, joining Golden State, betraying Golden State to a degree as well, going to the Nets.
He betrayed himself,
Now,
being honest.
I'm not going to disagree too much
He
about
should
that.
have just came to the Knicks in the first place.
He should have, and this is completely unbiased as well. He should have went to the Boston Celtics when he had the chance.
Yeah, but he would have probably ended up leaving the Celtics too.
Low key. But, I mean, with that young core, the future picks, the future assets that you guys had at the time, KD fits in seamlessly with you guys, and he still could be on the squad right now. Who knows?
Who knows if we even draft Tatum?
You could have.
I know, but also, like, if we had KD, do we
right.
trade
I'm gonna
down instead of
disagree.
getting full? Like, who knows what happens
I'm
after
disagree.
that?